Okay. Editing tutorial of a hour-and-a-half podcast that we're going to do in about 20 minutes using OnMic. Ready, go. Create a project file. Import your media. Helps if everything's labeled and organized. I'm not going to import the project file. All right, let's create a new sequence. I'm going to do it from the footage so that the settings all match. All of my cameras are already the same. So I can drag them all in that same sequence with no issues. I'm going to label it podcast episode. Boom. All right, let's bring in the audio. I recorded the audio separately on a Sound Devices Mix Pre 10.2, which records the top two tracks as a stereo mix down of all the microphones, which we don't need. We just need the 3 podcast microphones. I had an extra microphone just running, so we're going to shut that off. I'm going to bring these 2 down. Boom. There. Now we're going to sync everything. Synchronize based off the audio form. Adobe Premiere does this without any help. Okay, everything's all synced now. Could also bring in the second audio file. The Mix Pre 10.2 just breaks apart stuff. I think it does it so that if there was a power outage or it stops recording, not everything's lost, so it breaks it apart without losing anything. Okay, now it's all synced. Now I want everything to start at the same exact point. So I'm going to trim all that. Boom. Oh, missed one. There we go. Delete it. Bring everything to the front. Now I'm doing the same thing at the very end. Okay. Now we don't need the camera audio anymore. So I'll unlink the cameras from their audio. And I'm going to delete that audio. Now I'm going to delete those 3 tracks just to make it look all nice and tidy. Now I'm going to go to the audio editing interface here, and I'm going to just do some basic editing to make it sound nice using Premiere's built-in tools. Okay, that's done. Now I'm going to go back to the editing interface, and we're going to go to the OnMic panel. OnMic is a plugin for Adobe Premiere. They have a free trial. We're going to do wide shot frequency low. There are 3 speakers. There are 3 cameras. A1. Let's just figure out who that is.
In here.
That's Todd. A2.
Right.
That's Ari, me,
Right.
which leaves audio 3 as Lucas. Okay. That should be all good. V1 is the wide, so that's everybody. We'll check. V2 is Todd. And V3 is Ari and Lucas. Okay. Now I'm going to save it just because why not? And I'm going to create edit. All right, now we're going to let OnMic do its thing. This will probably take 5 minutes or so. It scans everything. So far, we've been editing for 4.5 minutes, roughly. It also tells you how much each person spoke, which is cool. It shows you Todd spoke about 37% of the time. He was the main guest. Ari, 25%. Lucas, 30%. All right. Seems like I did my job as a host and talked the least amount. Now you can see it scanning, and you can see it's already making all those cuts. And what it's doing is basically making it so I don't have to go through the whole podcast and switch cameras based off who's speaking. It's doing all that for me. I still like to go through afterwards, find where the podcast starts, ends, trim it up, make sure all the shots are right. Maybe I want to squeeze in a reaction shot, which OnMic can do as well. But yeah, I still like to watch through it just to get it finely tuned. But man, does this save me a lot of time. Also, I will link in the description of this video to the final edited episode so you can see the final result of the edit. I'm going to now fast forward through the rest of the OnMic process. It'll probably just save 5 minutes just so we're not sitting here for 5 minutes. See you in a second. There you go. It's all done. Did an hour and 26-minute podcast in about 6 minutes. So now what I do is I find the starting point of the podcast. So let's zoom in here.
At this point, everyone knows they're kind of fake because
they know. Matter of fact, I want them to know. I don't like when people go to fake people out on this. You know, especially when they do it shitty. You ever see they try to make it look like they propose? Right to the comments. I'm so happy to go, this does not look real.
right.
Some people are very perceptive. One that looked pretty real, they go, yeah, except that exit sign stapled onto the wall. It would not be like that on a plane.
Mm-hmm.
Acting was pretty good, but there's something full of shit here. Anyway,
Yeah. So basically, how did those come about? I mean, you obviously do those kind of
Okay,
big.
I think I started earlier then.
But yeah, if you don't have a current studio,
right
I
after
do.
this.
I don't do the podcast anymore, but I still have my studio where I do like Instagrams.
Yeah, whatever you want. I love the.
Okay, here, that's where we started it. Okay. And now just the ending point.
I know, just that. So I think it only is helpful to have a site.
Yeah, I agree.
Thanks for doing the podcast. Really appreciate you.
You're welcome.
Thanks for coming in. See you guys next time. I love.
All right, so there it is. A whole hour and a half podcast done in about 14 minutes. Obviously, still might want to add an intro, outro. Might want to do some basic color correction, go through the whole thing, obviously. But we have a rough cut done in about 15 minutes. Thank you, OnMic, for saving me hours. We'll see you guys next time.